Hello, good morning, and welcome to This Date in History, also known as TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to dates in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things that we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the Star Device application Today in History. What happened today in history?
Historical calendar and the website onthisday.com.
For links to those sources, the music you're hearing, and anything else potentially interesting that we may gather throughout the show, check the underbar in the description below. Anyway, I am Alexander.
I am Scott.
And today is Moon's Day, also known as Monday, August 29th, 2022. Let's see here. Why don't you start us off today, Mr. Scott? Oops, I think where'd it go? It went over here. Starting us off in the year... Actually, we're joined also by...
Meat Cleaver.
Yeah, just literally pulled in. So.
Oh, shoot. Hey, Dad.
Hey, how you going, Scott?
Good. How are you?
Good
to see you.
You bet.
You have officially become the server dad. Scott just called you dad. I've called you dad my entire life. You know.
It's official.
Alice calls you dad.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, it's a thing now.
Pretty much.
But you have an interesting one here in 708.
708. Oh, wow, that's why. Okay, sorry. I'm going. 708. Copper coins are minted in Japan for the first time. Traditional Japanese date, August 10th, 708. Wow, that's pretty cool. I wonder if did they strike those coins? Like, that's pretty interesting.
That's a good question.
Let me see. 708 Japanese coin. Let's see here. Maybe. Like, they might have, like, made it as blanks and, like, struck them, because that's really elaborate to hand do every single one of them. They have characters on them.
Yeah.
So.
It looks struck to me.
Yeah. Well, if anyone knows anything about coins, it's the guy next to me here. He placed them.
I'm a coin collector myself. So
you
we
are?
can go into... Yeah.
Oh.
Sweet.
So, yeah, I guess we can go into that at some point, yeah.
Well, you know what? Maybe we can clean them up, you know, and put some Tarnaban on them or something.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this is interesting. I never heard about this. If you don't mind taking 1178.
Sure. Anti-Pope Callistus III gives Pope title to Alexander III. What anti-Pope? Where does that come from?
There's actually like several popes. There's our traditional pope, and then there's the anti-pope because he's like against the Catholic pope and everything. It's like rivals. And then there's like throughout history there's been like 4 or 5 different types of popes and such. So like the Catholics have their own pope. The Church of England, I think, has its own pope or something like that. There's like I don't know. Like, actually, let me see here. How many types of popes are there? Let's see here. There are currently no less than 4 reigning popes. Pope Francis is the head of the Roman Catholic Church and sovereign of the state of the Vatican City. Pope Taurus II of Alexandria, Pope Alexandria, and Patriarch of the See of St. Mark. So those are 4 different popes right there. So, wow. Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah. And then you have another one here in 1350.
Sorry. I'm going. Okay. 1350, Battle of Winchelsea, or Les Epagnols sur Mer. The English naval fleet under King Edward III defeats a Castilian fleet of 40 ships.
Wow. That's a lot of ships.
It's a lot of ships. I was just going to say that. Yeah.
Now, is it just me, or does his beard make it look like his head is getting ready to run away? Because like it looks like it's splitting into legs, and he has like 2 arms here, It's just gonna pop off and run away,
Huh.
Oh, here we go, good old schnoz guy here.
Here we go, yeah.
1475, the peace treaty of Picquigny, King Louis XI bought English contacts. Okay, I don't know what that is, but...
Contacts?
Contacts,
Yeah.
English contacts. Not the contacts you put in your eye.
No.
But like I don't think
Connections.
those- yeah.
Yeah, like contacts in your phone, like address
Yeah.
book.
Yeah. Oh wow, I want that hat. Good old onion head. 1526, Battle of Mohacs. In a decisive battle, the Hungarian Empire was conquered by the Ottoman Empire, led by Suleiman the Magnificent. Well, it's a magnificent hat he has there.
Yeah.
Seriously, it looks like he like took 2 beach towels and just like.
What are his? What I wonder what his underlings look like. Do they just have like half the size of the hat, or?
I have no idea. Like,
Don't know how that works.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I feel like if he's the top guy, he's got like one of the most elaborate hats or something.
Yeah, it's got to have something significant like that.
God, the hat is as big as a human torso, dude. Like, that's huge.
Look how they put that little red like topping on it.
Yeah, it looks like a feather. Like, you can't even fit his whole hat in one picture. It's too big.
Yeah.
Like, you need to go back and get a telescopic lens or something. Like,
That actually looks like they tied some type of fabric to make it a hat. That doesn't look like a singular hat. It's like
yeah,
they
no,
tied it.
it's like a turban. Like, turban is just like, like a piece of cloth and you whirl it around and make a thing. That looks like he just took like a bed sheet and did that,
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. And then, let's see here. How 200 conquistadors conquered an empire of 10 million. Holy crap.
200?
200 conquistadors. That sounds like the Aztecs here. 1533, Atahualpa, the last
There you go.
Sapa Inca Empire, was suspected to have been burned in northern Peru or in Ecuador. So it's Inca, not Aztec, but Inca, Maya, Aztec,
Yeah.
Mesoamerica. Because conquistadors, that's Spanish.
Yeah.
200 conquistadors conquered an empire of 10 million. Technology, dude. You have guns.
How did they conquer that? Like, what were their numbers? 200. It's a 200 conquered 10 million.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
Because of technology. They had the breastplate and the helmet. They couldn't get hit by the spears and arrows, and they had guns. So
Wow.
This is the power of technology. Like, this is why it's such a meme. Like Sid Meier's Civilization memes and everything. Like, you have one little army of tanks can defeat an entire empire of like foot soldiers, because
True. It's like I look at it from back then. It's like 10 million. If you have 10 million soldiers / people, like, you can just suffocate those 200.
Yeah,
Like, they
you
must
just
have
march
been-
on them and keep coming.
yeah.
Yeah, that must have been a really good 200. Like,
Well, they didn't come at them with 10 million all at once.
No, obviously not.
But,
Yeah.
they,
99% of them surrendered with the leadership.
yeah.
Had to be something like that.
But yeah. Scott, your turn.
alrighty. 1640, English King Charles I signs a peace treaty with Scotland.
Oh, you conspiring with those English, I see.
A peace treaty with Scotland. I wonder what that peace treaty was for, but
Well, Scotland is now. No, Ireland is part of England. Scotland is still its own thing. At least portions of it are. Well, that's interesting. 1640 peace treaty. 1640 peace treaty. England, Scotland. There we go. The Treaty of Ripon was an agreement signed by Charles I, King of England, Scotland, and Ireland, and the Scottish Covenanters on October 28, 1640, in the aftermath of the Second Bishops' War. Keep in mind that's they're using a different calendar, so that's October, and October's in a couple months here. So, well, actually, let's see here. Today is August 29th. 7 AUT UST 29th. So let's see here. Yeah, Treaty of Ripon and the Treaty of London. And this is 1640s, so that's 1641. Well, without having to dig a little bit too much, I'm not sure if we're going to get a solidified answer to your question here, Scott.
Mhm.
But I'm going to say it's the Treaty of Ripon.
Well, that definitely elaborates on it further, so at least we got some context, right?
Yeah, it's within the realm, the wheelhouse. Why can't I talk today? Um, but yeah, interesting. And good old another pencil head here. Look at that.
Yeah.
So, 1696, King Louis the, what is that, 14th?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Of France and Victor Amadeus II, Duke of Savoy, signed Peace of Turin, a turning point in the War of the League of Augsburg.
Interesting. Peace of Turin. Let me look at that up here really quick. Peace of Turin.
We're still in some old times here, so it's good to learn about
Oh
it.
yeah. See here. It ended the war. See, 1381. This is 1696. So let's see here. 1696. Treaty of Turin, 1696. It ended the latter's involvement in the 9 Years' War. Savoy signed a separate peace with France and left the Grand Alliance, an anti-French coalition formed on December 20th, 1689 by England, the Dutch Republic, and Emperor Leopold. A lot of wars, a lot of things, a lot of confusing stuff. Like, man, I really need to learn more about history pre-World War I because there's a lot of
Well,
stuff.
we're a warring species, that's for sure.
Yeah, we are. I of course posted this link into the underbar.
Sounds good.
Yeah. One more.
All right. 1831. Michael Faraday demonstrates first electric transformer. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Huh.
Wow, electricity.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, some sustainable electricity.
Yeah, we went from Ben Franklin, getting hit. According to folklore, he flew a kite with a key on it to capture electricity, or to prove that lightning was electricity.
Yeah.
And he did, because it conductivities to the metal key.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, in 1833, Britain's first Factory Act became law to regulate the labor of children and young persons in the mills and factories of the United Kingdom. Wow. Yep. Look at how little those kids are, and they're working.
Yep.
So that was the first factory. So up until that point, they had child labor.
That was the first Factory Act, yes. Well, no, they still have child labor. This is to regulate it. So this wasn't abolishing child labor. This was making it more streamlined and politically controlled and such. So.
Well, regulated probably means age. Certain age you can't have them beyond that, or certain conditions.
Well, let's see here. Britain's first Factory Act, 1833. 1833. There we go. No children were to work in factories under the age of 9, though by this stage numbers were few. A maximum working week of 48 hours was set for those aged 9 to 13, limited to 8 hours a day, and for children between 13 and 18, it was limited to 12 hours daily.
Wow, that is just jarring. Just the sign of the times. You can be under a teenager and still almost work 8 hours, and it's
How about 12
maybe
hours?
Yeah, maybe just to feed your family or just have something going. That's just.
Well, keep in mind.
That's jarring.
This was back.
To me.
Yeah, this was back in the day, and it's still kind of prevalent today. But kids were losing their parents to war or disease or famine or starvation or any number of reasons, and I mean
So you had to start young.
Yeah, well just to you had to be the man in the house at the age of 10 because what if something happened to your dad in the coal mine or he broke a leg, he can't work, well you still got to put food on the table. Now it's up to little Jimmy.
Yeah, exactly.
Because women couldn't work back then. So.
Yeah, you really had to be mature beyond your years.
Well, that's why many people way back in the day were that hard, and uneducated, because you had to, welcome to the world. Boom, you got to work. Adult responsibilities. You're 13, too bad.
Well, I remember my father telling me he remembered a work day was 6 days a week. And the big thing was they cut Saturdays to a half a day.
Yeah.
So and now we've cut it to 5 days, and they're talking to cutting it to 4.
Yeah.
And just a little
So you're
off
ahead of the
topic.
curve.
Yeah.
But you kind of learn that going through your public school years, and it's now in this day and age, everybody's like, oh, let's go to homeschooling. It's like, well, I don't think you get the same life lessons and or schedule like experience if you don't go to public school, because public school is almost like a job.
Well, not even public school, but private school. Like, you know, if you're homeschooled, you're in a bubble. You got to get out there,
Right.
and especially while you're young and while your brain is forming and everything, you got to learn these life lessons. You
Well,
know,
it's it's interaction with other kids. It's all the little teeny things that you don't realize. You have facial structures. What does that mean? You know, and you learn that from being around other kids.
you mean body language and facial
Yeah,
expressions?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
they-
facial structure.
No, not facial
That's
structure. You're right.
eugenics.
Well, you go, hey, that kid's ugly. You know. But yeah, you learn all that stuff, and
Yeah.
you miss a lot, I think, in homeschooling. I understand why a lot of parents are doing it. But
I feel like
it's-
in today's day and age, it's like the sheer influence factor of it, and it's like they're trying to just keep their kids like in a safe environment where they know what's going on, and
Yeah.
they can teach them the values they want,
yeah,
and you know, I don't know, like you should give them some, what's the word, like some freedom, some independence, you know, something
Yes.
like that. And I think it's just today's generation with the technology age and what's going on today, because you know, when I grew up, it was still kind of in its infant stages. Like it was still, you know, newspapers, letters, you know, person-to-person stuff. And nowadays, you know, with technology, it's so easily connected, and you can go to school online. You know, I couldn't do that when I was young.
no,
Yeah, like you
So-
are of the last generation, really. Like, you know, you and I, well, like, I'm 6 years older than you. Like, you are of the last generation to, like, really go outside and experience the world without being cooped up playing your Game Boy all day long, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Well, here, I can give you something. Really, when I was a kid, we went up to Canada to visit my grandmother. She was on a party line of 9 people, and you counted the number of rings. And if you were number 2, it would ring twice, and you'd pick it up. If you were number 9, you had to wait for 9 rings. So you go from that to today. That's amazing. And we had at our own home in huge city areas, we still had a party line. There was no private lines. You had to be rich to have a private line.
yeah. Scott, you know what a private party line is, right?
Sort of. I mean, you can tell me if you want, but yeah, I mean, it's like
Well, let me.
specific.
Well, what it is there's we only had 2 people on a party line. It would only ring in your house, but you could pick up the phone if you wanted to use it, and if your party line is on the phone, then you got to wait for them to be done, hang up the phone, and try back in 10 minutes, and hopefully they're off the phone. And if they're on there forever, you got to say, hey, I need to use the phone. When can you get off?
Yeah.
A party line or multi-party line, shared service line, or party wire is a local loop telephone circuit that is shared by multiple telephone service subscribers. So essentially, if you
Wow.
lived in a building with multiple people, like as Dad said, like it rang like ring ring, and then there's a pause, so there's not another ring, so that way you know it's number 2 or number 3 or whatever, and then
So you got multiple people using the same line.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
yes,
So go on.
that's about it.
Oh, all right. I
Yeah.
get you. Then.
Yeah.
Huh, that's interesting. What is that any different from a landline or?
That is a
It
landline.
is a landline, yeah. There was
Okay, all right.
there was no cell phones, no
Yeah, this was before personal home telephone lines.
before satellites, before anything.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's talking like back in like what the 50s.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the 50s.
yeah,
Wow. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, now we're so spoiled with all of our individual cellular portable devices.
Well, my mother, if something was going on up in Canada with my grandmother or whatever, she had to call the operator, place the call with the operator, hang up, and when it was connected, the operator would call you back.
and you're talking about a switchboard, right?
The operator was on a
Yeah.
switchboard. Yeah, you're just on your landline phone.
Scott, do you know what a switchboard is?
I do, yeah. They would almost take cards in, and they'd have to do it all separate, like.
Yeah, like
But I called them.
well, not a punch card, but like actual like audio jacks in and out and stuff connecting, things like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine that? Calling the operator, hanging up, and waiting for the operator to call you back to connect your phone call. That's in my lifetime.
Miss Angela, your call from Chicago is coming.
Nowadays, that would just be like a robot or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it all is. Like, all the connections, it all is automatic, Like, that's an entire industry now gone thanks to technological advancements, Like, that used to be, employed positions. People got paid to do that. Now it's all gone. So...
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know if that's just like... It's like the technological advances, but it also is like the laziness. It makes people not have to work. It makes, it takes jobs away in a sense.
Yep.
It does.
Well, like, the farther we get, the more we progress, the lazier we get. I mean, like, take example WALL-E, You've seen that movie, right? Like, they don't need to lift a finger, so they just sit around all day and become blobs, because everything is handed to them,
Right.
And we're sprinting towards that, and it scares the hell out of me. But,
Well, it's the old scenario. It's the old scenario. Prosperity creates soft people.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
But see, like, those generations, like with, Xander there and your dad, that stuff is still ingrained in you guys. So you still take that with you. So even no matter how much technology progresses, you still got those values and those experiences that you can build with. So,
oh yeah.
But one of these days, our generations will die off, and that'll be it. Everything.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why we kind of matter in today's generation, because we still come from that age, and we still know how things kind of work from back then, and we won't be stuck even though technology makes us lazier. Like, we still have those things we have learned, and we can build for our lives. So we can even, I guess we have to teach the generation and show them or whatever, even if they don't need it. But
well, hence what we're doing right here, looking at history.
Yeah, and speaking of which, let's get back on track here. That was great. We went from child labor to party lines to experiences. Oh my God!
All over the map.
But I will coin this a Jabberwocky moment.
I don't know. It all kind of relates, though.
It does,
right?
though.
It does, yeah.
So yeah, we're kind of progressing in that.
Exactly. Anyway, 1838, Jacob and Wilhelm Grimm announced their intention to publish a German dictionary, eventually completed in 1961 after 123 years. Wow. And Grimm, these are the brothers Grimm. These the fairy tales, you know? Like why can't I think of, like, Humpty Dumpty, and then the witch, Hansel and Gretel.
Oh, that's all theirs.
I think so.
That took them 123 years, and that's a German dictionary.
Yeah.
So,
well, they announced their intention to publish a German dictionary, and obviously they didn't live to see the end of it.
Right.
But somebody carried on their work. So. And then we have 1862, Second Battle of Bull Run, fought in Manassas, Virginia, began to become a Confederate victory during the U.S. Civil War. Yeah, we were getting our teeth kicked in for a little bit. So.
I wonder if we can go into it at some time, just the whole Union versus Confederate thing in this time. I mean they still wave the Confederate flags nowadays, and they do all that. So that's such a very interesting time in history to me,
Yeah.
Like, so.
The South will rise again.
Well, there you go.
That's Bull Run there for you. I guess that's part of it. Yeah.
Well, that's why the South is so stereotypically American, because they still have, that mentality that don't tread on me, like live and let live.
Well, it's ingrained into their history, and they're taught it from their birth. So
you know what I
on.
noticed about these pictures? Like, when they label it in the history of the art and all that, how we're looking, it's always like the army of one side versus the other side, and they're like right up on each other's throats. Like, I wonder if that's a real picture.
That is. Well, it's not a real picture, but it is a good representation, because they did. I mean, think about it. It takes, they can fire, a really good soldier can maybe squeeze off 3 shots in a minute. You know, well,
Oh yeah.
why stand there and reload when you could just run 50 feet and stab the enemy in the neck with your bayonet? You know?
A lot of
just
hand-to-hand combat.
bayonet 'em all, yeah.
Well, that happened a lot in World War II still. Like, remember, like, we watched Patton the
For
other
sure,
day.
World War One with all the
Well,
trenches.
definitely,
you know.
yeah. But World War II, like, at the beginning of Patton, remember, like, all the people, like, you know, like, at the battlefield and everything? Like, the guys, like, we resorted to hand-to-hand, you know? Because, like, eventually you'll run out of ammo. Well, you have a knife, you know? So...
What
Yeah,
year are
that's
you
like-
in right now?
We are moving on up
I
to...
see these.
Well,
Sorry,
okay.
I was gonna say I see these pictures and I feel bad for those front line guys because
Oh, yeah.
they're the first ones to get stabbed, and it's like that's the picture we have here. So
Yep. Well,
I would have been here quicker if it wasn't for the Karen 2 people in front of me.
that is all right. It is just perfect. We are now in 1882 just for you, Miss Alice.
Oh,
Welcome to the show.
1882. Okay, so we have in 1882 an Australian cricket fast bowler, Fred Spotforth, completes a 1490 with a 746 and 744 in one-off test versus England in London.
And I'm not sure if I've said this to you, Alice, but if you ever read something and you know you read it right, but you still feel like you had a stroke, that's just cricket.
Yeah,
You know?
I should say after the 1490 there is a parentheses with 7-46 and 7-44. I know nothing about cricket scoring
Nothing.
and stuff. So.
None of us do.
I
Absolutely none
feel
of us.
like we're talking about a sport, and I feel like Alex.
That was the quote of the day, my dad. That is the quote of the day. Wow. Wow.
That was good.
That was
very
great.
good. Well played.
Oh, wow.
Moving on.
All right, but
Oh my
we also have in
God.
1883 we have a first Carnegie Library financed by industrialist Andrew Carnegie. He opens in Dunfermline, Scotland, in first of 2,509 libraries built around the world.
Wow. So
So,
this guy
yeah.
built libraries everywhere. That's awesome.
So that was the first
Yeah.
library built then?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first Carnegie Library financed by him. It opened in
Oh.
Dunfermline, Scotland. It was the first of 2,509. So 2,508 more would come.
His most famous
Ah.
has got to be Carnegie Hall, right?
Well, that's a music thing. That's not.
I know,
library.
no, I know, but I mean that's as far as what he donated and built.
Oh yeah, Carnegie Hall.
He donated a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have another one here.
Oh shoot.
Ooh.
Oh. The
Krakatoa.
seismic sea waves created by Krakatoa eruption create a rise in English Channel 32 hours after the explosion.
Wow, the English Channel between England and France.
Jeez.
It rose that area of water.
Whoa. Whoa.
Well, we were talking about this, yesterday?
The past 3 days, actually.
This
Yeah.
is still happen nowadays. Like Krakatoa is still pretty active.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, hold on a second. Let me find it on the map just to give us a scale. So here's Krakatoa. So I'm trying to find it.
Believe
Oh
it or
my
not,
God. Okay.
I have heard this pronounced as Krakatoa.
Yeah, it's called Krakatoa now, but it used to be called Krakatoa.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Well,
Krakatoa.
I've been told actually there might be 2 volcanoes, Krakatoa and Krakatoa.
The Krakatoa, I think, is son of Krakatoa because it's so big it literally sunk and blew up the island and everything. And now,
Yeah.
because it used to be a series of 3 volcanoes and now it's 2. But Krakatoa is northwest of Australia, and that's on the other side of the Earth from the English Channel.
Well,
So can you imagine?
Yeah.
Like, did you see that?
Yeah.
Like I went all the way around
Yeah.
here, and it's raising the sea level all the way over here. Holy shit!
yeah, well, you also got to think when the volcano Attenborough blew up in, was it 1814 or something? Or 1815?
What
It
was
caused the year without a summer through England and Europe and
What was it
America.
again?
It lowered the temperature
Yeah.
and stuff.
What was
Well,
it?
all that pyroclastic flow, that's going to raise the sea level. That's just like adding land. It's almost like how the world's made.
That is how the world is made.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that is
like
new
when the
land.
volcanoes erupt, it just
Temperature is
adds
the
land.
cloud. What will cause sea levels to rise is a seismic activity in the ocean.
Yeah. Well, there was that one, the La Palma thing out in Spain. They were worried in New York that it was gonna, causes flooding. Because you remember a couple years ago, there's that or just last year.
Last year.
Yeah.
You wonder why they wouldn't be hit with a tsunami.
Well, I mean, they were worried about that because like there was that whole face of that volcano was like maybe could have slipped, and that amount of land would cause a tsunami.
Yeah.
So, and it is right, right across the Atlantic Ocean.
Right.
So, anyway, Scott, 1885.
All right. 1885, boxing's first heavyweight title fight with 3-ounce gloves and 3-minute rounds fought between John L. Sullivan and Dominic McCaffrey.
I think John L. Sullivan is the guy, the famous, picture.
Yep.
So,
they make it a point with 3-ounce gloves and 3-minute rounds. So what were the ounce gloves before that, I think?
I think this is when they finally regulated it. Like,
maybe
okay.
It's when they went from bare knuckles to gloves.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Judging by the year.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, they finally figured out that, knocking people out like that, you need a little protection at least. There's got to be a sport aspect to it, because, like, your fist can just hurt somebody, whereas if you have the gloves, that's a little bit of a sport thing.
Well, it's not just for the protection of the opponent. If you ever bare knuckle fought, if you ever punch something with your bare hand, it hurts.
Right.
Like, so
yeah.
It's more for the attacker, because if you want to defend the victim, then they have to wear that foam helmet we see in the practices and such. But when you're in the ring, that's hot. You're sweating. You're in the ring. Your peripherals aren't there. You got to have full things. So like, the gloves are mainly for the guy who's punching, but it does provide cushion to the target.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Yep. Next one?
Yeah.
Okay, so 1885, Gottlieb Daimler receives German patent for a motorcycle. Wow, first motorcycle. It's German motorcycle.
I thought it said invasion, but then I looked close and I was like, oh, it's invention. I was like, what? That has nothing to do with an invasion, Mr. Motorcycle?
Here they come.
Oh,
all
God.
on their motorcycles.
Oh, here come the Hells Angels. Oh, remember that South Park episode?
Yeah, he's an engineer.
The fag episode.
Just Alice, don't say that word on air, please.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's an engineer and an invasioner.
An invasioner.
He's an inventionist invasioner. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
The invention of invasion. He invented invasion.
He invented the invasion back in 1885.
So yeah, if anybody's watching, it's actually a patent for a motorcycle.
Yeah.
99 years before I was born.
Nice. And actually, a side note: everyone I know who's had a motorcycle has crashed on it. So
that's not good.
I've never crashed on.
How many people is that?
2. So 2 for 2, but it's not good. It's 100% fail rate. I mean,
true.
Your co-guy Jeff,
Yeah.
Mo.
Yeah.
Mo should have died. Like, that was crazy. I don't know how he lived. That was.
They
insane.
probably need a slower motorcycle.
Well, yeah.
Well, he was way overpowered. He didn't know what he was doing. He couldn't handle it.
Mo had Mo. It's a whole story. Like the guy not. Okay, let's say his brain is a 2-stroke engine. Only a half-stroke is going. Okay, Mo, if you're watching, I don't want to disrespect you, but just don't get on a motorcycle again. Anyway,
yeah, you gotta live.
You have one more here, Mr. Scott.
All right, yeah,
Here we go.
There we go, exactly. Okay, 1914, 4th day of Battle of Tannenberg of World War I. Russian Second Army panics. General Martos caught.
Ah. So the Russians are losing now. That's not good.
Yeah.
Actually,
is that saying that the Russian Second Army panicked, or is that that they?
No, they panicked.
They just.
Panic usually means they turned and ran.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Well, let me see here. Who won the Battle of Tannenberg anyway?
That's been a everyday thing. We've talked about the Tannenberg like every day now.
Yeah. Well, for the past four days, yeah. So the Germans had 150,000, and the Russians had 230,000. So,
So it's like a 2 against 1, like 50%. They're almost exactly. They have 130,000, so it's
well,
pretty close to
150
half.
versus 230.
Oh,
So,
all right.
Yeah,
So it's not quite half. Not quite half.
yeah, but still. But who
Yeah.
won?
So the general was caught here.
Yeah, the Russian general. So
The Russian general. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I'm just gonna put this link in the underbar because I'm not gonna continue to look to see who won. Actually, I can just see who won. Battle of Tannenberg. German. So the Germans won the Battle of Tannenberg.
Well, they caught
Yeah,
a
which
general and they
makes no,
panicked,
because
so yeah.
if the general was caught, obviously the other side probably won.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense. So. Anyway, moving on up into 1916, General Paul von Hindenburg replaced von Falkenhayn as German Chief of Staff. Interesting. Okay.
Ooh, sorry,
Well,
I had
I
a
wonder-
guys driving by, so I had to mute.
I wonder why he replaced him. Was he just qualified for it, or the other guy messed up?
I have no idea. I mean, people get shuffled around all the time, and this is during World War One, so maybe they're just like, oh, he's more qualified for this,
Yeah, but
Like-
this is a general, though. I don't know how many
Yeah.
times they're going to change a general.
Well,
Look what Russia's doing today with their generals. God.
True.
look at what Stalin did with his.
Yeah.
The Great Purge. So. Anyway, moving on
Yeah,
up into 1925, after a night on the town, Babe Ruth showed up late for batting practice. Miller Huggins suspended Ruth and slapped a $5,000 fine on him.
Whoa.
Yep.
Which is quite a bit for that time.
You're not
$5,000.
kidding.
And, that should be a lesson to everybody. It doesn't matter who you are or what your status is. Show up for work. Don't, fuck about the next day and be like, oh, I have a hangover. Too bad, so sad. Show
Sure, I
up
thought
for
the
work.
moral was going out and partying the night before.
You might as well just make a PSA for G.I. Joe about,
Yeah.
please don't be a D canoe.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like they had guys that had tabs on him, so the sooner he messes up, the sooner they know.
Well, if they didn't have tabs on him then, they sure as shit now. So. after
Yeah, that's true.
that. Alice, your turn.
Give me 1 second, a car's driving by.
All right.
1929.
How long does it take for a car to drive?
Sorry there, I
Wow.
had a double feature. So,
Oh,
alright,
Speaking of, this is
1929.
before Amelia
We have
Earhart.
aviator Anne Morrow Lindbergh makes her first solo flight.
Wow, is
Interesting.
she before Amelia Earhart? That's pretty cool.
29.
I think that's the same time.
I don't. Maybe.
Amelia,
I feel like it might be.
Amelia Earhart, 1897 through 1939. So she supposedly died January 5th, 1939. So this is at the same time frame as Amelia Earhart. Lindbergh, though,
So
I
it's
think
like her competition.
more or less, but I think
Yeah.
this is the wife of Charles Lindbergh.
Oh, all right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, the Lindbergh baby, Soon
Yeah.
to follow.
Yeah.
Let's not forget Charles Lindbergh was a literal Nazi.
Dude, yeah, they had
Oh, yeah, we
we had
talked about
we had
that,
a
right?
replica at the Minneapolis airport of Lindbergh's his iconic airplane.
Ah. Oh, speaking of aircrafts and such, Alice, you got another one here.
Oh shit, snacks!
Zeppelin again.
Oh, 1929, German airship Grata Zeppelin ends a round the world flight.
Yeah, remember
Why is
the
it
other day
so
we were
like the
talking about
Hindenburg
that?
though?
Remember the other day they made like 4 stops around the entire planet? They started in New York and
Yeah.
went to Germany and then...
Here's my guess. This was in 1929. What did that take? Like 21 days or?
Well, it was less than a year. But yeah, it was
All
like, actually, hold on a second. Graf
Those
Zeppelin.
things didn't go that fast.
Yeah. Look it up if you want. The
Graf
last time we
Zeppelin.
did a round the world thing, it was like 21, 30 days.
Graf Zeppelin around world flights length. Let's see here. 21 days, 5 hours, and 31 minutes. You were right. Wow.
Yeah, I said 21.
Yeah.
Nothing but net.
That's a genius.
Scott is a genius. But let's keep his ego down so we can keep him longer. You know, before he finds somebody who can actually pay him for that brain of his.
Why do they have a picture of the Hindenburg?
They just use a universal picture for everything. So.
You know what's really funny is that they just use a picture of the freaking Hindenburg for that one.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
know.
what? They blow up? I was thinking it was a blowing up, and I'm like, oh, it's the Hindenburg.
Yeah, no. Scott asked about that the other day, and they just because the Hindenburg, you know, it's the most famous, you know, events. So they just round up everything involving Zeppelins and dirigibles and everything, and just use the same picture for all of it, no matter how.
From a movie.
Yeah.
And it catches your eye to read it.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even from a movie. Actually, you know, I think it would be cool if they actually remade the Hindenburg now.
That'd be
I
interesting.
mean, that'd be a remake that I'd be willing to watch.
Well, they
Agreed.
did remake the Titanic. They have a Titanic 2, and for some reason it's sailing the
What?
exact same course as the first Titanic. And they also made a Queen Mary 2. You know, so they
I
are.
don't know, that makes
Yeah.
sense. They want to make a successful voyage, I guess.
Yeah.
Are they gonna also reenact the moment it hits an iceberg too?
Let's not
So
do
it'll be
that.
like it'll be like, instead of like, you know, like one of those Halloween like haunted rides, it's a Halloween haunted Atlantic ride on the Titanic. Here, we're gonna mock the sinking of it. Here, that'd be funny. I'd go.
Well, you have an interesting one here, Miss Alice, 1939.
Oh, I do. You're right. Oh, shit snacks. In 1939, we have Chaim Weizmann informs England that Palestine Jews will fight in World War II.
Wow.
Huh. Now, wait a minute.
Did they have a choice?
I don't know. Did they?
Now, hold on a second.
I was
World War...
actually reading the Gates of Zion.
Time out. They didn't even know World War II was coming. World War II didn't start till September of 1939. It hasn't even started, so how did they even know that the conflict was coming and that Jews...
Well, there's
this
already
is-
a conflict going on in, like, what, 1939, the invasion of Poland.
Yeah, it's in September. It's coming.
Yeah,
This
but
is
there's so
before-
much
Maybe they had
unrest.
in-
They knew.
maybe they had-
knew it was in trouble.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
that's
still,
intel.
like, why would he specifically say... This sounds like propaganda to me. Why would he specifically
May.
say that
Could be.
Jews? Because this is before they knew that what the Nazis were doing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe just an error in history.
I don't know. This seems weird. Like, something's not adding up here.
Maybe it's the same day, but wrong year.
Maybe.
Could
Maybe
be,
that's
I
the
don't
only
know.
thing that would make sense to me. But like, you know, yeah, the signs are there, but the conflict hasn't started. This was before we knew what the Nazis were doing. So why would they single out that Jews would be fighting in there? Why would that even be significant?
Well, maybe Palestine and Israel
They
were
didn't
getting
exist.
letters from relatives up there talking about what was going on with the Jews.
Israel didn't exist at this time yet. It was all
Well,
Palestine.
you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, they're Palestinian Jews.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, yeah, this is before Israel, so like this is when it was actually Palestine, and now Israel's taken everything. So.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, I get a good one at the beginning of my turn. 1945, General MacArthur was named Supreme Commander of Allied Powers in Japan.
Nice. MacArthur?
MacArthur.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
MacArthur.
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 I was going to say something quick on the last one, but we've moved on.
Oh, so
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, they informed them that they would be fighting, but who informed them that? Because that would be a lot of people. So it's like if one person informs them that they're going to be fighting, that means what? Does everybody have to follow along? Like,
Well, Chaim Weizmann informed England. So I think this guy was a Palestinian. Wait, no, nationality Israeli and Russian. Okay, so...
oh, okay.
He was the first president of the newly formed State of Israel in 1949, until his death in 1952. So Israel
Got
didn't even exist for another 10 years.
Yeah.
So this is 10 years before Israel even existed.
Yeah, it's interesting how that works.
That's weird.
Right.
I think Alice is the most likely, you know, like this is the wrong year but right date. because it's just, I don't know, this just doesn't make any sense. Like,
Yeah, unless they had like some intel coming in from whatever.
well,
I don't understand why the Jews would already be fighting, because like not everybody even knew. Well, as far as we know, maybe people knew, but they just didn't want to talk about the fact that they knew.
well, nobody
So
knew
we watched it under in history.
nobody knew of the Holocaust during its happening until the later time. So at this point, it was very much underway, but nobody outside of the actual operations really knew.
Well, I think it was understood there's something going on with the Jews in Germany, but
Yeah.
not to the extent it was.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Yeah,
I guess
everyone
would
knew
make
that
sense.
something was happening, that there was some type of genocide or some type of segregation going on, but
mean,
as
certainly-
to how deeply it went.
It was certainly understood Jews were being rounded up.
Yeah. Well, not rounded up.
Yeah,
but
like people knew about that, but
were-
like we didn't know what
Right.
was.
Didn't know the
they were-
extent.
Well,
I think we did, but we just didn't want to admit it to ourselves. for
I
a
don't
while.
know.
That's possible too.
and
Absolutely.
see, we're all speculating. None of us, not even the old guy here, existed back then, so we don't know. So.
Yeah, my parents weren't born until 1948, and only person I could have asked was my grandfather, and
Yeah.
unfortunately he did pass us last June. So,
Oh, I'm sorry to hear
that
that.
sucks.
Oh. well, he was 94 years old.
That's good. That's pretty.
He
tough
lived a
there.
good life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
I could technically ask my grandparents who were born in 38 and 42. I mean, they do know something about it.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what?
well-
Why not?
Ask them, see what they remember. Like,
Yeah.
it's really funny because a lot of people didn't realize that we had internment camps for the Japanese during World War II.
Oh, we definitely did.
Well, I
So-
know we did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, a lot of people didn't know we did that though.
Ah, okay.
Like that, like especially out on the Pacific Coast, we
Yeah.
had internment
Oh,
camps
yeah.
out there for the Japanese. I actually read a book in school about it, and I can't remember what. I think I was in middle school and actually read it. My American Studies teacher made me read it, Mr. Finger.
Mr. Finger.
I remember he gave me.
Mr.
I remember he gave me what do you call that, detention for when I asked him. So now let me ask you: are you the middle finger of the Finger family? Are you the middle?
Wow.
Are you the middle child of the Finger family? That's actually what I said.
That's pretty funny.
Detention, but then he pulled me aside at the end. It's like, no, I'm just kidding. You don't have detention. So he was like, that's very funny.
Well, then I would have said, well, then I guess you're the thumb.
Yeah, no, he was he was one of my favorite teachers I had ever. My American Studies teacher in 7th
Anyway.
grade, Mr. Finger.
Moving on,
Anywho,
in
let's move on.
1947, B.R.
Sounds like it.
Ambedkar was appointed chairman of the drafting committee for the Indian Constitution. Huh. So, this is when India was becoming independent. So he was,
Oh yeah, well, wasn't India also having issues with Pakistan too? Like there's always a border fight with them.
well, Pakistan stemmed out of India. Pakistan actually was formed, when was Pakistan formed? When was...
And that's the drafting committee. So he's in charge of getting in, people for fighting.
No. Drafting as in, drafting up the document, not military drafting, but drafting up the document. So he's drafting up, he was chairman of the committee. So when we made our Constitution, we had all of our founding fathers, sign the Declaration of Independence and everything. That's our form of the drafting committee, essentially.
Oh, I
So,
got you.
he
Yeah,
is
those guys,
he's in
help
charge of
form,
all the people
basically their.
creating the document of Indian independence.
Yeah, think of it as India's form of their constitution, the Bill of Rights and all that shit.
And then it says here, Pakistan was founded on August 14th of 1947, so actually we missed it, I guess. I don't remember reporting about that, because that's past. Anyway, Alice's turn.
It's my turn
It
already.
is your turn.
Alright. Okay. So we have here music single. Oh my god, I got my sunglasses up here. Cliff Richard and the Drifters released single Move It! Richard's debut single credited as first British rock and roll song.
And see, despite how much I hate this song because it was just all over the internet when it first came out, the first thing that comes to my mind is, I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, from Madagascar.
That's
Yeah.
got to be like the Johnny Be Good type times or something. I don't even know when that came out, but
Johnny be good.
that's the first British rock and roll song. That's in '58. Wow, that's the first one.
Oh, it should have been the Beatles, but it wasn't.
Well, we created rock and roll with.
Of course, the Beatles didn't exist in '58.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they didn't. They were
Oh.
still little high schooler twinks.
But
That's
speaking
right.
of the Beatles, Alice.
Oh shit, snacks. Oh
Shit,
god,
snacks.
I spoke too soon. So
Indubitably.
1958, George Harrison
Yeah.
joins the Quarrymen, who later become the Beatles.
Yeah.
So
Speaking
you
of the
just
Beatles.
you just proved yourself wrong. The Beatles were. This is the same date, 1958. Both of these articles.
Haha,
Yeah.
Dad, I told
Speaking
you I
of
was
the
right.
Beatles.
So the Beatles.
Okay,
This is
no,
what-
actually, here's a fun story about that. So, before they became the Beatles, John, Paul, Ringo, and George. George was the youngest of all of them, and he ended up getting deported because they found out that he was there illegally in Germany when they were trying to get big. Before they got big, they were playing all around Germany.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I also should add in Stewart. Stewart was the second guitar player.
Who was the
or,
original drummer? Do you remember?
The original drummer wasn't Ringo, yeah.
No, I know.
I can't remember his name.
Okay.
But, like, there are technically 6 Beatles if you include the pianist, too. They
didn't
only
know
used
that.
in recordings.
Let's see. So the drummers of the Beatles, there was Ringo Starr, Tommy Moore, Norman Chapman, and Jimmy Nicol. Pete Best.
They changed them around, but, yeah.
Maybe
But
it was Pete Best.
George Harrison got deported out of Germany because he was underage and shouldn't have been out there.
Mm.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, when they went over to Germany.
Yeah, to get made. Like, actually, if you can find, there are some. My German teacher in freshman year, he actually had a record, actual vinyl record, of the Beatles, singing in German. I want to hold your hand.
I wanna hold your hand.
In German, huh?
Yep. In
that's really
deinen Armen, ich bin glücklich in Fleur. Yeah.
Why don't you just sing the rest of it?
No, I actually don't know the whole song in German. I only heard it a couple times. I remember that part. In deinen Armen, ich bin glücklich in Fleur.
Well,
or
Alice,
something.
take this next article, and then we'll do the split.
Yeah,
All
I was
right,
gonna say, we got a split coming.
Oh, yeah. I understand why. 1963, Harmon Killebrew from the Minnesota Twin. Home runs of Pete Burnside, Senators, in DH.
Another
Uh,
guy who very notable in the Hall of Fame. He brought up a lot.
Yep.
Actually, I knew Harmon Killebrew's son.
Oh, really?
He actually created a root beer company called Killebrew beer.
Huh.
Ah.
And he dated my my neighbor, my friend who lived across the street, her mom Julie, for a brief time. But yeah, he was the son of Harmon Killebrew, and he was like, there's actually a road that's like right off the Mall of America in Bloomington called Killebrew Drive, named after him.
Cool.
Very cool.
Yep.
Doing the split here.
On the more southern side of the mall will be Killebrew Drive, I'm pretty sure, off of Cedar Avenue or Highway 77.
Well,
To the Mall of America.
welcome to part 2. We are now in 1964. It is Sir Scott's turn.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I
Or
was reading
baseball.
this before. I was reading this before, and I'm like, I read it now. 1964, on Elston Howard's night, Mickey Mantle ties Babe Ruth's career strikeout record of 1,330. So that's not a good thing.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I guess he was striking out.
Did you say negative?
Strikeout
Yeah.
record, yeah.
Yeah, this is a record of strikeouts, so this is like not a good record. I guess Babe Ruth and Mickey Mantle struck out or something.
Yeah,
Home run hitters
Okay.
do strike out a lot because they go for the fences.
yeah.
True.
Go big or go home, you know? This time they want to
Yeah.
go big and go home.
Yeah.
So,
And a lot of them like don't even want to walk because they're slow.
yeah. Well, like, it's too bad it's not 1337 because then it'd be leet. So, because, 1 is L, 3 is E, and then 7 is T. So LEET, 1337. It's geeky.
Dude, it just sounds like you're just doing the alphabet thing.
Wow.
No, I'm just talking in a geek language. So,
Oh.
yeah.
Might as well just be doing 1 0 1 1 1 1 0 2 3.
No,
Oh wait, no.
no, that's binary.
That's
That's binary. And that's
That's
for
cool.
programmers.
When I hit 2 3, I all of a sudden realized I failed.
And no, that's
Yeah, that's
binary,
cool.
and that's for programmers.
Code.
Yes. Scott, you have another one here.
1964, Stephen Sondheim's musical A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum, starring Zero Mostel and Jack Gifford, closes at Alvin Theater, New York City, after 965 performances and 60 Tony Awards. So.
6 Tony Awards.
Is this the Forum in
See,
LA?
20 awards would be impressive.
That makes me think of the Forum in LA.
I don't know. All I can think about is who the hell names their kid Zero? Zero Mostel?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh. Who
Huh.
names their kid A.O. Xander?
Nobody. I named myself
Yeah,
that.
that's
I don't know, I was making a joke.
that's a stage name right there.
It is a
Yeah.
stage name.
So is mine, so I mean, but I have a. Yeah, well, no. Xander, I love your. I actually love the way you spell your name, too. It's fun.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Scott has
Indeed.
one more here.
Indubitably.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 1965, Willie Mays sets National League record for home runs in a month with his 17th in August.
Huh.
How many though?
Pretty good.
17th
Sorry,
and
what?
one. How many, though? Since... Well, it's not telling
This
me.
National
Yeah.
League record of home runs in the month of.
Well, it's not even the
It's,
17th.
I think it's he hit 17 in August.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I just had a fucking epiphany, and I can't believe I didn't have it before until just now.
Did it
Oh,
hurt?
the 17th of
Wait.
August. Yeah.
No. Willie Mays is based off of the character Billy Mays in Major League movies. Slightly.
What?
It's a play on word names.
Oh.
Billy Mays Hayes, or whatever his fucking name was on
Oh.
the movie Major League is a play on words of this guy right here.
Oh, I
That
thought
is
you were
it.
talking about the guy who's always trying to sell me OxyClean by shouting at me.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, I was talking about the movie Major League, the Major
Oh.
League movies with Charlie
Yeah,
Sheen with like the Wild Thing and everything,
Yeah.
and you
It's
had
from the 80s. It's from the
Okay.
80s.
yeah, dude, it gotta watch it, man.
I did a long
So,
time
yeah.
ago.
Not to say, yeah, that Willie Mays was based on a character's name from Major League in the 1980s. That's
Okay.
what she's getting at.
I see
That's
where
what
you're
she
going with it.
Yeah, that's where she's getting at.
Yeah. Moving on up into 1968, first match on the U.S. Open tennis era. On her way to the final, Billie Jean King defeated fellow U.S. Dervisha Vuskanes. Are we really sure she's a U.S. citizen? 6-1 and 6-0. But with a name like that, Dervisha Vuskanes. What the hell?
She was called Billie Jean.
Yeah.
No, she wasn't American, and she actually she actually like they're saying that like women couldn't beat men, and she went again. There's a whole movie based off of her, like of her like competing against a man in tennis
Yeah.
or some shit.
That actually took place, and I can't think of the guy's name. And she crushed
Yeah, I
him.
can't either, but
She
you can
crushed
remember
him.
her name, and I think she actually beat. I can't remember if she beat him
Oh, she
or
crushed
she
him.
just narrowly lost.
No, she crushed him.
What? What?
She crushed him.
His name was Bobby Riggs.
Bobby Riggs.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh no, my next door neighbor just said, yeah, she did beat him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe knows this.
Beat him like a drum.
Dude, I think, Joe, you might like Xander's daddy boy. You guys can get down.
Why'd you
I'm
have
just
to
kidding.
say it that way?
I don't know. I was just being fun and philosophical, like Lewis would be.
Oh, okay.
But no, actually. No, yeah, but she did beat him. Like, they were saying, like, a woman couldn't beat a man. Like, it was a big deal, and I can't believe that.
She's lesbian, so
Oh, and she was a lesbian, too.
Well, I was gonna say something because she kind of looks the part. So
Who cares? She looks the part. Doesn't matter. But
That's right.
I mean, she did something that people didn't think she could do.
Yeah.
69.
Yep, 1969. Whose turn is it? Mine, right? Or Alice's? I think it's Alice.
Uh,
Oh no, it's Scott.
Did
Scott's.
you do 3?
Wait, I don't even know anymore. I'll just take this
Oh,
one.
no, I'll read it. What? You want me to read it?
All right, yeah.
Have Dad read.
Let's just do a general reset. Scott's turn.
1969, Joe Pepitone quits Yanks after being fined $500 for leaving the bench, which I don't know why he left the bench or what happened, but
He had to pee? My neighbor Joe just said he had to pee.
You know what?
it sounds like the Yankees weren't doing very well and he quit on the team. That's what it seems for me.
Oh, he quits after the Yanks after being fined for $500 for leaving the bench. Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah, probably because he failed.
Alice, bring your neighbor into Discord. Bring him into the show. More the merrier.
Joe, you don't have Discord, do you? Do you care to have Discord? Probably not. Maybe I'll just have her like read a couple things every once in a while.
Yeah, she can sit next to you like my dad's sitting next to me here. So.
Well, I'll have to sit next to her because you know my area is a little whatever. But like, if I have like a question about history about like a certain area, it's like I bet you Joe will know really well.
Good.
She's a fucking awesome lady. I'm not gonna lie. She's fond of use of information. There you go.
Anyway, Scott, you have another one here.
Yeah, 1977, Iggy Pop releases his second album, Lust for Life, a collaboration with David Bowie.
I was just gonna look like, is that Iggy and David Bowie next to each other? Oh my god.
Indubitably.
Indeed.
And
Do you remember that where Iggy Pop and David Bowie collaborated together? No, she doesn't. Okay, well.
Every time I see that picture of David Bowie, it reminds me of Macaulay Culkin when he was like having a
Actually, the first time I ever was introduced, really, like maybe I was a younger age because I did recognize the songs, but actually the first time I was ever introduced to David Bowie, like where I saw his face and him performing live, was actually on Saturday Night Live, and he did the song "Fashion." And that was the first time I actually ever saw him, but, like, when I'd heard music from before, like, I was like, oh, I've heard him before, but, like, that was the first time I ever saw what he looked like.
Well,
and he's just so eclectic. Like, I'm amazed, like, I didn't correlate that was him in the Labyrinth, because I'd seen it years prior, but that was when I put 2 and 2 together.
Well, speaking of fashion and such, Scott has one more here, and I'm looking at this guy. I remember, like, we saw, like, the other picture, the guy with, like, the really weird long collar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like this guy, he has the same thing, but it's buttoned, so that is the uniform.
Yeah.
God, I would hate to play in that. God.
Well,
It might be a
Ty
cool
Cobb
dancing.
he is the guy they used on the Best Picture award, so
Oh, yeah,
his
Ty
name is
Cobb.
still... Yeah. So, in 1977, Major League Baseball St. Louis Cardinals Lou Brock eclipses Ty Cobb's 49-year-old career stolen bases record at 893 as Padres win 4-3.
Nice.
So that's a pretty
Padres.
significant record right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
49
have they even
years.
tried to get the Padres name removed since, like, they want to change the Cleveland Indians and, like, the Washington Redskins?
Yeah.
They
That's a
already
good
question.
changed Cleveland to the guard. The Cleveland is now Guardian. So.
I don't know. I don't think that's right.
I
I
love
bet
what
you
South
Cleveland's
Park.
not happy about it.
I love what South Park did with the Washington Redskins when the logo and stuff was
Yeah.
copywritten. So they just like went
Yeah.
out with it. Like that was great.
It was a pretty funny episode.
Miss
It just got
Alice,
more and more
1982.
ridiculous as the episode went.
Miss Alice, you have a 1982 here.
Oh,
George Brett.
we got another baseball record here. Oh, wait.
Yep.
I'm actually going to take the one right before it. Scroll up a little bit. No, scroll down. Scroll down. Right there.
George
1982,
Brett,
38
Colin
degrees,
Johnson,
lowest temperature recorded in Cleveland in August.
Wow.
How cold?
38
38 degrees. Jeez.
In August,
Wait,
yeah.
wait. Didn't we have like the highest temperature in August at like 102?
Yeah, I was just
Something
gonna
like
say, like a couple days ago, we had something like the
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cleveland or somewhere
No,
around
it was
there, yeah, in
Cleveland.
Ohio.
Yeah,
It was Ohio. Yeah.
Ohio.
Yeah.
Oh,
So they had a
hi-oh.
huge high and a huge low slowly after.
Dang,
That's why I caught it. I was like,
that's weird.
That's really weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why I saw it and I was like, oh, I want to read that.
Yeah.
All right. In 1982, George Brett gets his 1500th hit.
Nice.
Yeah, he's probably known more for his home runs, but that's probably a good milestone for him.
He just looks like
Any
he's,
milestone is good for anybody with a record. Like, hey, you sure get a lot of home runs, but like getting base hits still count.
Yeah.
Triples, doubles.
he looks like
Yeah, well,
Dude, did you hear
anything in the
that?
Hall of Fame is like
Someone just-
3,000 hits or something. So
Dude,
he's
someone
probably
just
known
recently
for
got a
all
grand
those
slam.
records, like home runs, hits, all that. So 3,000 hits for a solid hitter, that's like what they're known for. Like Paul Molitor, Derek Jeter, all those guys got 3,000 hits.
the only thing I have to say is it looks like he spent a little too much time in a tanning bed. Like he looks burnt.
Well,
Like
orange man bad, right?
well, he's not orange. He's just like
Red.
kind of like brownish red. Like I don't know. Like I don't know what
He's
the
a
color.
strawberry. Like Daryl Strawberry.
Kinda
There you go.
like a dirty strawberry, I guess.
No, actually, I was going to ask. I think someone just recently got a grand slam. When was the last grand slam to be done by somebody?
Alright.
I don't
not
know,
very
probably
often,
last
but-
night. Probably last night.
What
we
was
have-
it last night? Really?
I don't know.
I
That
just heard
there's a lot
that
of
somebody
teams
recently
playing
just
today.
got a grand slam.
Well,
That happens a lot, you know.
I have it here in 2019 in Wimbledon. Novak Djokovic.
That's tennis.
Djokovic, yeah.
Tennis. Oh,
That's
baseball.
tennis. That's a different deal entirely.
Greatest
Baseball.
Grand Slam baseball.
Yeah, baseball.
baseball.
Grand slam.
Let's see here.
With the amount
just
of
haven't-
teams that play every day, that's probably not that rare.
But for like a professional baseball, it's not that.
Oh, I know.
Well, I would guess there's one a season, maybe. So it's not.
I'd like to think maybe once or twice a season you might get a grand slam. But
I would say that.
I have here on August 20th, 2020, the San Diego Padres became the first team to hit a Grand Slam in 4 consecutive games with Fernando Tatis Jr., Will Myers, Manny Machado, and Eric Hosmer
Yeah.
each hit a Grand Slam in a series against the Texas Rangers.
That's in a
Yeah,
row.
but here,
Yeah.
if you put in when was the last Grand Slam hit, I think that's what you're getting at.
Was
yeah, the most
last
recent grand slam.
Slam.
Yeah, it happens at least a few times a year.
That's what I think. But like sometimes it happens. A lot of times it doesn't. But like I'm looking in Major League, not like minor. I've seen
Yeah.
a fucking grand slam in
Well, I
minor
have
league.
here a list of Major League Baseball single game Grand Slam leaders.
That's different too.
Okay. Well, I don't know what exactly to search for. It was when was the last?
really
The
not
last
that rare.
grand slam in MLB.
When
It's
was
not
the
that rare.
When was the last MLB Grand Slam?
Yeah,
It says
it's
here
not that rare.
September
Huh.
8th, 2017.
No.
So,
No, there's no way.
well,
That could sound about right though. To be honest.
I've
No,
searched like
no, there's
5
no
different ways for this thing, and I'm not finding anything here.
There
Anyway,
is
let's move
no-
on.
Yeah.
There's no possible way at all. There's no way. There's at least a few every year.
I don't know. Like,
This will be a topic we'll have to talk about on the Jabberwocky next
I can
Sunday.
go
Put it in
into
the
I mean, you want
Jabberwocky
Yes.
to go into
mentions.
the Yankees here. If you want me to go into the Yankees stat records of this year, I can find it.
all right. Well, like we're
That-
gonna move on.
that's
But
like-
Let's continue moving on here. Oh,
Yeah.
That's every team. That's every team. in
is that
MLB.
me or is that you,
Yeah.
Xander?
this is your article here, 1990.
Ooh.
1990, we have Saddam Hussein declares America can't beat Iraq.
Whoops.
We did it not just once but twice. So, yeah.
Pretty sure we skipped that Nolan Ryan one.
Nolan Ryan.
Oh yeah,
Well, Alice, take it.
Xander, take that one.
Or Scott,
Take that one.
Scott can take it, and then he can take the next 2 after that.
Okay, 1987, Nolan Ryan passes the 200 strikeout barrier for the record 11th time.
Dang.
Jeez.
Jesus.
Yep.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yep,
Well-
that's what he was known for, striking them out.
Get a fast arm.
Yeah, you have another one here in 92, Mr. Scott.
Ah.
Oh, God. I'm so sorry.
1992, that's my birth year. Irish rock band U2 plays the first of 2 sold-out nights at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York City.
Huh.
U2 is pretty solid. I mean, I like a couple of their songs.
I like some of their music. I just don't like when I have to hear about their bantering.
Is it just
Yeah,
me?
their politics. Thank you, Joe. Yeah.
Is it just me,
Like,
or is this picture giving off douche vibes?
Well, Bono always likes to wear like those weird colored shaded sunglasses.
Yeah.
He thinks like he's doing something, but he's taking more of the money that's for like to build charity,
Oh.
like him playing live. He thinks he's like, oh, I've gained this much money for these people, but like the bands and the crew, they have to get money, and like how much does it really go to like those charities is what I get mad about when they do them.
I have no idea, but
Well,
I
that's
just,
always the question, you know, how much is going to the cost of the thing and how
Yeah.
much is actually going to a charity.
because think about all the advertising, all the people that got to get paid and everything. Like, you know, even if they're a non-profit company, they still got to pay, you know, their employees. They got to pay the overhead. They're not necessarily making profits, but they do got to pay. You know.
And charities can range from 90% efficiency going to the charity to 10%, you know, and the rest is costs. I mean,
And
it's
then-
a huge range.
Look at Goodwill. Like, everybody thinks Goodwill is a charitable organization. No, it's not. Not one penny goes to anything but towards like the CEO and stuff. It is a completely for-profit corporation that like basically spends no money because everybody just gives them free shit and they turn around and sell it for 100% markup. You know. And then I was gonna say, no wonder this guy gave off douche vibes. It's Bono. So I'm like, oh, that explains it.
You didn't know that was Bono?
No, but I know Bono's a massive douche. So yeah.
Wow.
Well, do you ever see that South Park episode where they like the Guinness Book of World Records like was a piece of poop, but it actually turned out that Bono was the original world record of the biggest poop ever given?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, he always wants to be number one because in actuality he's just a giant steaming pile of number two. So.
Yeah, well,
Tell us what you really think
that
about
was
him.
that was a whole joke with South Park with them. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, 1993, Scott's turn still.
Alright. 1993 Canadian Opens Women's Golf 2 Marnier Classic. London Hunt Golf Club, Brandy Burton wins in a playoff from Betsy King.
Huh. Oh, she has a psycho look too, though. Like, is it just me? Like,
No.
am I reading too much into pictures now? But like, she kind of like, or you know, a psycho kind of look in her eyes.
I don't read that much. I just.
I do not know.
I mean, look here. Let me see. I can't get a bigger picture of it. Damn, Betsy King. Let me see if I can find a bigger picture. Betsy King. Here it is. Oh wow, it's small. Why can't I get a bigger picture of it? Oh,
Why do
well.
we care?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't know about golf, so we can move on.
Yeah. 1994, British band Oasis released their debut album, Definitely Maybe, becoming fastest selling album ever in the United Kingdom. Definitely
That's
Maybe.
saying some fastest selling record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
I said maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after that's 2002.
Then
Oh no, that was
2002, the 19th.
that was what's this? The album was actually called "What's the Story, Morning Glory." So
2002, 19th MTV Video Music Awards, Eminem and Pink won.
That's gotta be the Eminem Show right there. If you look up the Eminem Show album, that's gotta be 2002.
Eminem Show?
Yeah. Let's see if it's
oh,
2002.
this looks like
I'm
a
curious.
job for me. So if everybody, let's just follow me because we will need a controversy because it feels so empty without me. I think that might be when it was, or it might be a later in the year.
That's Slim Shady, but you're right, Scott, 2002. Eminem
Hey,
Show.
yeah. Alright.
That was a little later when that one came out.
2004, 21st MTV Video Music Awards, Outkast, Beyonce, and Usher featuring Lil Jon and Ludacris won. Alright.
Yeah.
2004 as well, German Ferrari driver Michael Schumacher clinched his 5th straight F1 World Drivers' Championship with a second place in the Belgian F1 Grand Prix at Circuit de Spa Francorchamps. Interesting name. Ooh. Too bad Sohan isn't here because this would be right up his alley.
Well, it's my turn now.
Yes, it is.
God, because I remember this actually shut down my servers up in Minnesota when I was a loan officer because our headquarters were down in New Orleans. But in 2005, Hurricane Katrina mixed second and third landfall as Category 3 hurricane, devastating much of the U.S. Gulf Coast, from Louisiana to Florida, the Panhandle, kills more than 1,800 people, causes over 115 billion in damage.
That's some
And people,
storm
and here's a funny thing: is that people are still recovering from it out in Louisiana, which makes no sense.
Well, that doesn't make sense because they just had a hurricane almost the same amount of power not too long ago. They got just wrecked by another hurricane recently.
Well, I don't know why people still live in. Why can't I remember? What's that city in New Orleans? Like the famous one. Wait, New Orleans.
The French Quarter, or
I think it was. By the way, I think it was Hurricane Ida. Hurricane Ida. They just got pounded by Ida.
Yeah, well, I actually accidentally said the city I was thinking of, New Orleans. They're literally in a bowl below sea level. Move! You know, like how many times?
Has anyone not noticed how there's no hurricane activity growing right now when it should be right now from Africa up to the Gulf?
Yeah, because we control the weather now.
There's still a little bit of time left for that. It's like,
oh yeah, we need the rain up here in the Pennsylvania. Like we get the aftermath and part of the hurricane, but we definitely get the rain that we need, and we have not gotten the rain all the time.
Are we getting a headache or something? Flashes?
No, I'm good.
Probably.
Well, most hurricanes start in the ocean and make their way to land, so you could just watch them. You can see when they're developing.
I do watch it. I watch how they just die.
Don't all hurricanes start in the ocean? You know, like
yeah. You watch the upper African current.
Wind shear will destroy a hurricane.
Yeah. Whose turn is it? 2007 here.
Mine still.
All right.
Yeah. So we got the Venice Film Festival in 2007. The 64th Venice Film Festival, Lost Caution, directed by Ang Lee, wins Golden Lion.
The Golden Lion.
There it is again.
And we also have, hey, what's that between them? Let me see what's between them. Alright, yep, I'm gonna do that one right there.
Yes.
In 2007, a United States Air Force nuclear weapons incident takes place at Minois Air Force Base at Barksdale Air Force Base, which doesn't tell you which countries or what cities.
Let's see here.
What's the name?
What does that mean? It's really vague.
It is a,
there was a nuclear weapons incident, apparently, in 2007.
Yeah, but what the heck does that mean?
The infamous...
I know.
The infamous 2007 incident in which 6 nuclear weapons were unknowingly flown out on a B-52 out of Minot Air Force Base, North Dakota, to Barksdale Air Force Base in Louisiana, was one of Air Force's biggest black eyes and led to the unprecedented simultaneous firing of the then Security and Chief of Staff.
So nothing happened other than they did something.
It sounds like they moved them without proper documentation and clearance.
Or precautions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
that's a big no-no. Okay.
This is right before Obama took office, too.
Yeah.
Well, right before Obama got actually elected and put in office. So this is a Bush thing. So it said 2007, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Thank you, Bush.
Yeah. Thanks, Bush.
I never liked the Bushes.
Yep. Never trust a Bush.
A bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush.
Yeah. Scott, 2009.
So, also, in 2009, Cristiano Ronaldo makes his debut for Real Madrid, scoring a penalty in their 3-2 win over Deportivo La Coruña.
Ah. Ooh, you get a good one here.
Me? Okay. 2010, 67 Emmy Awards Mad 62nd Emmy Awards, Mad Men, Modern Family, Bryan Cranston, and Kyra Sedgwick wins.
I think Bryan Cranston won because of Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
Wow.
he did a really good job on that.
Yeah. And actually, do you know the theory between Breaking Bad and Malcolm in the Middle?
What?
Because, like, you know, Bryan Cranston, you know, like, he was in both of them.
Right.
People say that Malcolm
He
in the
was-
Middle is after Breaking Bad. So after, you know,
Well,
after
Malcolm in the
Heisenberg...
Middle. Oh,
please let me
yeah.
finish talking. After Heisenberg dies, what if he actually doesn't die and he starts a new family? And, you know, that's the start of Malcolm in the Middle.
So he's in the
Makes
witness
sense.
protection program, is what you're saying?
No, he just, like, faked his own
But
death
what?
and then went away.
But what era was it? What era was it based off of in Malcolm in the Middle, though?
Well, it was earlier, you know, and it is a loose theory, but it's something I just saw online one day and like, huh, that is interesting, you know?
It's a theory that fits, though.
Yeah. Or maybe, like, you know, maybe Hal divorced his wife, you know, from Malcolm in the Middle, and then went on, you know, to start a new family to get away from her, because we all remember, you know, the wife in Malcolm in the Middle was just a stark, raving psychopath.
It's a TV show.
She's still crazy.
Yes, but that's what she portrayed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, within that universe, what if he, like, you know, left and then started, like, you know, a new family and became Heisenberg?
Wow.
If you want to
The
go
mom
that
in Malcolm in
Wow.
the Middle was also the mom to Reese Witherspoon and Tobey Maguire in Pleasantville.
Huh,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Scott
So-
has another one here.
Oh, there he is. Are they gonna tell us he's a druggie?
Oh, God, here we go. Scott?
2012, the USDA claims to have stripped Lance Armstrong of his 7 Tour de France titles.
Poor Lance.
After all his elaborate, you know, coming forward and doing all his public appearances and talk shows and all that, it finally came to a head.
You know, let's just sweep all the stuff, all the money he raised to help, you know, sick kids. Let's just forget about all of that, you know? Like, let's just bash him for being, you know, a drug cheat. Okay, whatever.
Exactly. Look what
Stupid.
he's known for: a cyclist and drug cheat.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you know, this same source talks about what's the swimmer guy?
Michael Phelps.
Yeah.
Michael Phelps.
God.
Yeah.
You know,
Michael
like,
Phelps.
God, they're sucking his you know what so hard, you know, on this.
Dude, he actually was a good swimmer, and they
Yeah, he was.
stripped him because he only tested positive for marijuana.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's way different.
Yeah, this is
Marijuana,
cycling.
what do you
We're
do,
talking
you know?
about cycling. This is
And it
on
was
the cycling.
after, like, they tested him months after, and they found that he had marijuana. He didn't have marijuana in the system during the competition. But afterwards, I saw a video of him doing, like, a bong
Yeah.
somewhere, probably on
that.
Facebook or whatever. That's what they stripped him of it for. It's because
So-
they found him later smoking pot after
Wait
he
a
wasn't
minute.
actually doing the Olympics. His titles
Yep,
should
yep.
still stand.
Just to clarify, we're on Lance Armstrong, and that's cycling. That's swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but
all
like,
drug
he
and
brought
heads.
Michael Phelps.
Dad's trying to say something.
I didn't know they stripped him of his medals because of weed.
Yep,
what you're
just
saying?
because of marijuana.
I did not know that. I remember the incident.
It
Oh,
wasn't-
big deal, hitting a bong.
It-
Yeah.
And that was way
It
after. How
wasn't
can they do that?
steroids. It wasn't steroids or anything like that. It was marijuana. And he actually didn't test positive during the time of his, I believe, I don't think he did. Maybe I'm wrong there, but he didn't test positive during the Olympics.
Quite a while, so.
Okay.
And for a downer and a guy, like, to go from a downer instead of a steroid to, like, get, like, 8 gold medals.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
he
well,
tested positive
That
for
stuff
weed
stays
during
in
the...
your system a long time.
Yeah. Moving on up into 2017, U.S. President Donald Trump visited flood-affected Texas.
Wonder why that's noteworthy. I mean, it's nice he did, but
Yeah.
you know.
In 2018, John McCain was the John McCain is only the third person to lie in state at the Arizona State Capitol Rotunda in Phoenix. Oh, okay. So he's the third person to lie in state there. Okay.
He lied?
This is after he died. Like he's like, you know,
Oh.
like lying in state, like
Oh, they leave your coffin there, like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
do
Like,
for
remember-
presidents.
They
With
bring his
Capitol
body to the
building
rotunda.
for viewing.
like remember with Reagan, they put it in the U.S. Capitol, like they put his coffin there and lie in state, for like a couple days, and then they
People got to go by and view him.
Yeah,
No, I know. Yeah, they did that with
Lenin.
who's that last person right there, where Biden did a really ridiculous speech that everybody forgot.
I don't remember the recent one, but I remember we talked about this the other day.
A year ago.
But I remember we spoke about this yesterday. Was it Whitney Houston? I think. I don't think that's the right name.
Singer?
The singer.
I don't know.
She lied in state in a 24-karat coffin.
Oh, no.
Not Whitney Houston.
It wasn't with.
Queen of Rock and Roll, right? Or
Yeah.
was it black? No, the black lady.
Yeah, but
What's
it wasn't Whitney Houston.
Aretha Franklin.
Aretha Franklin,
There we go.
thank you.
Yeah. We have another 2018 right here for Alice.
All right, in 2018, we have Russian President Vladimir Putin announces new retirement ages for 60 for women and 65 for men in TV address amid protests. That could just very well be propaganda too, though, because it is Russia.
Well, I mean,
And
that's...
he's not a good guy, but he's not a. But you know, when it comes to filtration, it's kind of what do they call that? Operator.
I don't know, but that's the same age roughly as we have out here for retirement.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What happened to women's equality? Bump them up to 65. What the hell?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's Russia.
Or bring them down to 60. I don't know. One of the two.
Well, you have another 28
Men
here.
should be 60. Dude, men should be 60, women should be 65, because women actually can have longer lifespans. Why is our retirement age younger?
True. Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Another 2018 here for you, Alice.
Hang on. Okay. We have a contract of interest. In 2018, star quarterback Aaron Rodgers signs NFL record contract extension with the Green Bay Packers. 4 years worth $134 million, rising to a possible $180 million, with a record of $103 million in guarantees.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. Why don't we give that to every football player that plays in every football team?
How about them
Yeah,
Packers,
that works
huh?
out.
You're a Packers fan, right? Alice, you're born in Wisconsin, right?
Oh, go fuck yourself, dude. Really? You really have to do that right there.
You never pass on that, do you? You hit her every time.
But it doesn't get old. Like she's not like, oh, stop with that. She's like, oh, go fuck yourself.
It's like
Dude,
Pavlov's
I don't
dog.
even
You know
like-
exactly how
here's
she's
the
going to
thing.
respond.
Yes, I ring the bell and she drools.
Dude, no. Here's the thing. I really
There's a
don't
thing?
like football. I don't care for football.
Yeah.
I like hockey, and I like
like
baseball. No. But as far as last time I checked, Wisconsin doesn't have a hockey team, and if they did have a hockey team aside from their college teams, they should really work them up to be as good as our hockey people. Like, if you put all Wisconsin people who could ride on ice and play some hockey, you take everybody on Minnesota and we put them on Lake Superior on the 1 year that rarely happens where the entire lake freezes up. We could have a big, huge hockey game against Wisconsin and Minnesota would fucking still kick the ass out of them.
If the ice didn't crack.
Yeah. We have another one here. This is really weird, in its own way.
I think I did 3 right there, so it's your turn.
Oh, you did too.
No, I only did 2. I did John Mc. No, I didn't do Elon Musk. Wait, what's right between Elon Musk and them?
I don't know.
Shit.
2019. The first one.
2019, discovery of world's largest child sacrifice site announced. An archaeologist with 227 victims from Shimu culture in the Humacho, Peru. So there was
Juan
a
Chaco.
200 Humachaco, thank you. So 227 victims of child sacrifices were found in Peru.
Well, this is an
Essentially.
archaeologist, so this sounds like back in like the Inca days and
Yeah.
stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually you can have the Elon Musk. I'd rather take that one.
I will have the I'll take the story, but I won't take Elon's Musk. That sounds disgusting. 2020, Elon Musk unveiled a pig named Gertrude with a coin-sized computer in her brain, part of his Nurolink startup creating a brain-to-machine interface. That is horrifying beyond words.
You are not kidding.
And people think this guy's on our side? Really? Are you out of your fucking mind? Like, wow.
So he's also warned against AI too, but yeah, I think this is when he realized that AI is not good.
Yeah.
Because he has had a change in tune about AI since.
Yeah.
Well, he's always said that about AI. Like, that's why he's trying to get to Mars, because he knows the Earth is doomed, and we can have a fresh start on
AI
Mars.
is still
but,
going
you know.
forward, though.
Yep, and then 2021, just last year, a missile and drone attack on Al Anad Air Base in South Yemen killed at least 30 soldiers. It was one of the deadliest attacks in recent years. Wow.
In the last recent years, Yemen's actually gotten really volatile too, so.
Oh, yeah, it has.
Yeah, it was actually for a while pretty peaceful, but up until the last, I think maybe almost the last 10 years now, it's really just changed out there.
Moving on in the burst, and I would ask, what articles grabbed you today, but we're already at an hour and 31 minutes, so we got to get this going.
We finally made it to birthday.
Boy.
Yeah. Starting us off in 1434, we have Janus Panois, a Hungarian poet and translator born in Kazma, Croatia, dying in 1472. Then we have John Locke, 1632, an English empiricist philosopher, influential Enlightenment thinker, and father of liberalism. Oh, great. Two treatises of government, born in Rington, England, dying in 1704. So what is empiricist? That sounds like like an empire.
Hey, you read it, dude.
Empiricist.
There is some interesting articles on John Locke. I know that.
It is a person who supports the theory that all knowledge is based on experience derived from the senses. As a noun, an adjective relating to or characteristic of the theory that all knowledge is based on experience derived from the senses. So the same thing. So that's interesting.
It does make sense in a way.
For further reading about this particular thing, I'm putting the link to this in the underbar. Scott, your turn.
Alright. Scrolling down. 1862, Maurice Maeterlinck, Belgian playwright, poet, and author of Bluebird and Noble 1911, born in Ghent, Belgium, died in 1949.
Wow, so he was around 80 years old, 70, 80 years old. 86. Huh. Another one.
Okay.
Sherwin.
1901, Sherwin Badger, American figure skater.
Finger skater?
Hey, what do you got against figure skaters?
Facepalm figure skater. U.S. Singles Championship of 1920 and 1924. Olympic silver pairs with Beatrix Lowran, 1932. Born in Boston, Massachusetts, he died in 1972.
Born in Boston.
Boston, Massachusetts, and go to park my car.
My English is going
Do you remember those little skateboards you used to have?
Tech decks, yeah.
So you could finger skate?
Yeah, they still
Oh,
exist.
the fingerboard people? I remember
Fingerboard, there
those.
you go,
People fucking
fingerboard,
playing
yeah.
with those back in my sophomore year, back in like 2001.
Yeah, the little tech decks. Yeah.
Ugh. Oy vey.
Alice.
Yeah. Oh, shit snacks. Oh, she was most fondly known to be in Casablanca,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yep.
But Ingrid Bergman was born today, Swedish actress. Casablanca, well known for Cactus Flower, born in Stockholm, Sweden, 19. What? Oh no, she died in 1982. I'm sorry, I was like, what?
She's looking at you,
She wasn't
kid.
born in 1982 if it was 1915.
She's looking at
hell?
you.
So she was born in
So
Sweden.
yeah,
How about
sorry, yeah,
that?
no, Ingrid Bergman.
That's
She,
the joke.
I loved her role in Casablanca.
Oh,
like my
yeah.
dad made sure I saw that movie or I could actually like recall like dialect in movies. So
Well,
what's
frankly,
the next one?
frankly,
That's the quote.
frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
She's looking at you,
Here's
kid.
to you, kid. Ooh, Charlie Bird Parker in 1920. Charlie the Bird Parker, American jazz saxophonist, ornithology, and composer. Born in Kansas City, Kansas. But unfortunately, he died in 1955.
He's only
young
35 years
man.
old. Wow.
He died so young, but he was a good saxophonist.
And isn't
I'm sure your dad has heard of him. Charlie Bird Parker? I know who that is.
Isn't ornithology the study of birds? It is.
Yeah.
The scientific
But he
study
also
of
liked to
birds.
study birds, but he was a saxophonist too.
Maybe that's why he got the
Hence
nickname
his
Bird.
handle.
Yeah, Bird. Chirp,
Yeah,
chirp.
Charlie Bird. Yeah, Parker. He loved watching bird watching.
Huh.
Oh my God, was that Jack Hammond?
Where?
It's in the highlighted.
Highlighted?
Jack Hammond from Jurassic Park. Look at those teeth. Look at that face.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
Richard
yeah.
Hatton- yeah, you're right.
Good
Jack
pull.
Hammond.
Oh, giggity! I caught it in my
We
phone.
talked about his death just the other day, so wow, he died a few days before his birth. His died August 24th.
Or
Yeah.
a few days after.
No,
Oh,
no.
it likes to tell you he's a Virgo too.
He died 5 days before his birthday.
Oh, well then how did you talk about his birthday
I said his death.
5 days before?
I said his death.
Oh,
He died
sorry,
on August
his
24th,
birthday.
2014. He was born on August 29th, 1923. So he died 5
Uh-huh.
days before his birthday. Before his 91st
Aw.
birthday. So,
Yeah.
Oh, oh.
but anyway, go on.
Hey, he made it to 90.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made a good long life.
English actor.
You gonna read, Alice?
Well, I said, but you know, he was Richard Attenborough, 1923. He was an English actor and director. He was in Gandhi. He was, you know, we spare no expense in Jurassic Park, and Young Winston. He was born in Cambridge, England, born in Cambridge, England, but he died in 2014.
So Jurassic Parker, that sounds like a prehistoric form of Spider-Man right there.
Yep, Jurassic Parker. Like as if there was like an unknown alignment with Michael Crichton and Marvel Studios.
And it's
Not
kind of
related
funny.
to Peter Parker.
It's
Dude, Michael Crichton was the author to Jurassic Park. Give me a break here, buddy.
Well, it's
Not
kind of
related to
funny
Peter
that you.
Parker.
It's kind of funny that you brought up the whole spare no expense thing because that is in the movie. But then, how come he went cheap with his security? You know.
I don't know. Why was all the security and barbed wire fences so not immune to a potential tropical depression? Not a hurricane, but tropical storm.
Yeah.
Something or something.
Anyway, we have John McCain, born on this date in 1936, a U.S. war hero and a Republican politician. Republican Arizona, 1983 through 2018, and a presidential nominee in 2008. He was born in Coco Solo, Panama Canal Zone, dying in 2018. What?
Yeah, you didn't know John McCain died?
No, I knew he died. He was born in the Panama Canal Zone, though. What? I did not know
So he's
that.
not
Yeah.
technically
Yeah.
yes, must have dual
What, Alice?
citizenship.
No, that the Panama Canal Zone is a U.S. territory,
Yeah.
just like Puerto Rico, but it's not a sovereign state.
What about Ted Cruz, who was born in Canada?
He's a Canadian.
But yeah, he's a Texas governor.
Well, you can be
It
out
looks
of...
like he might be slightly related to Trudeau.
Well, no, the whole thing about you have to be born in the States is for the presidency only, I think.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, you can be like from anywhere in the world and be, you know, a senator, a congressman, you know, a representative,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, I might be. I don't know. Like, I'm no, you know, I'm no lawyer, but oh wow, here we go. Michael Jackson was born on this date in 1958. We all know
Happy
who he
birthday,
is.
Michael Jackson.
A U.S. recording artist, a dancer, and king of pop, Thriller, Billie Jean, Bad, you know, Is Annie Okay, you know, Man in the Mirror, you know, They Don't Care About Us, just the list goes on. He was born in Gary, Indiana, dying in 2009. He was also known for
you
something
forgot to
not
say-
too good involving children, so, Yeah.
Why
Surprised
didn't you even mention Thriller? You said everything but Thriller. That
I
would be
said
like
Thriller.
the number.
Thriller is the first one.
I missed it. I must missed it.
I'm surprised they don't bring up his start with the Jackson 5.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
that's true.
Yeah, dude. Like, look at that. Like, you should here show a picture of Michael Jackson now to Michael Jackson when he was in the Jackson 5.
Oh yeah,
Well,
he's a
Michael-
little kid then.
Well, no shit. He's been dead for over 10 years.
But he
Dead
sure
for
could
13
dance as a
years
little
now.
kid, I'll tell you.
This was
Yeah.
Michael,
Well,
right?
no, he
Okay,
developed
yeah,
that.
there
He
he is.
developed
He's
that
youngest,
skin disease
yeah.
that started making his skin white. So he ended up just doing plastic surgery to
Oh wow,
fix
look,
that. But then I think he got.
that's back when he actually had a nose.
He had the same issue that Will Smith's wife had.
Look,
It's
the
the
skin thing?
Alopecia.
No, she has
whatever that was.
alopecia. No,
Oh.
alopecia. She's balding.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't remember. He had a certain skin condition though. That he-
Yeah, it's called alopecia, but what she has, like, she just has like female pattern baldness.
Yeah.
Like alopecia is not that. That like alopecia, I believe, is like where you start to like you're like if you have darker skin and like all of a sudden like you either lose it or you gain it. I can't remember how it goes, but
Okay.
like he started getting like really big blotches across his body, and they'd have to do makeup to cover it up. He'd had
Yep.
we gotta peck up the pace here, guys.
Sorry.
74.
74. 74. Jay Onrait, Canadian sports broadcaster of TSN and Fox Sports 1, born in Athabasca, Alberta, Canada.
He looks like an evil guy. Look at that. Like, he just has a sinister, you know.
Yeah.
He looks like Pete Buttigieg's dad or uncle.
No idea who that is.
He put his dad or uncle.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, you have another interesting one here, Alan. Scott.
Well, Pete Buttigieg, he's the head of the whole like roads and stuff and transport. Anyway, Brian
Secretary of
Chester.
Scott's
Transportation.
turn. Scott's turn.
Sports
Oh,
right now.
sorry.
I don't know.
Go ahead,
I'm
Scott.
on camera right now. I can't really. Nothing I can do.
What's up?
Sorry. Go on. Are we going ahead?
Yeah, 1981.
51. All right.
81.
Oh. Okay. 1981. Brian Chesky, American internet entrepreneur, CBO of Airbnb, born in Niskayuna, New York.
Huh. The current CEO of Airbnb. We all know what that is.
Shut up.
What? Alice.
Sorry, go on. Just go on. Just talk. I'm sorry.
We're going into who died today.
Yeah,
well, in 29 AD, John the Baptist was beheaded.
Ooh. That's not
It's kind
good.
of a biggie.
Yeah.
I am Montana. No, I do not.
Yeah, apparently today in history, John the
I
Baptist
don't know.
was beheaded for baptizing people. So
And one hell of a time jump here into 1799.
What?
Alice.
So in 1799, we have Pope Pius the Fourth,
6.
right?
Okay. Forget
The
about
sixth.
it.
I'm sorry. No, it's IB when it's the fourth. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, so Count Giovanni Angelio Bracciati.
Yeah.
There's a little like interjecting thing with the comma right there. Italian Pope, 1775 to 1799, dies at 71.
Ah.
The Pope Pius the Sixth.
We have Charles Napier, died on this date in 1853. He was a British soldier and major general of the Bombay Army who conquered Sindh and became the governor in 1843 through 47. Died at the age of 71. Look at that beard, dude.
That's something.
Wow.
That's a beard.
That's a beard to conquer all beards.
Dude, that is like the coolest, bushiest beard, but check out those glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we have Brigham Young in 1877. He was the second president of the Latter-day Saints. Died of peritonitis at the age of 76.
Peritonitis.
What is
Peritonitis.
peritonitis? It is a redness and swelling or inflammation of the lining of your belly or abdomen. This lining is called the peritoneum. It is often caused by an infection from a hole in the bowel or a burst appendix. You must seek medical care right away. So, yeah, sounds
Apparently
like
he screwed up then.
Yeah.
Obviously, he didn't.
Yeah.
Well, maybe there wasn't a cure for it back then, you know? Like,
Maybe there wasn't, but yeah, like back then, like going through the bowels probably be a little.
well, speaking of dorky dweeby glasses, Scott has a guy here.
I don't know if he's there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh.
Are we in 1975?
Yes,
or-
we are.
Yep.
Okay, so Eamon de Valera, Irish politician, President of Ireland 1937 to 1948 and 1951, 1954, 57 to 59, dies at 92.
Wow. That's a lot of non-consecutive terms right there.
No kidding.
Yeah, lived a good life though.
Yeah.
92 years old. Oh, I saw Ingrid Burnham again.
Yep, I see.
There she is.
So she also, on the day of her birth, she died on her birthday?
Yeah, I was just about to say, it's Scott's turn, right?
Yeah, Scott, take this one, because I did this one for birthdays.
Yeah.
Alright, 1982. Swedish actress of Casablanca and Gaslight dies on her 67th birthday. Wow,
That
right on her
sucks.
birthday, damn.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah, that's, well, you know. Okay, well, we got in 1987, we have Lee Marvin. I know who he is.
Me too.
He was an American actor, painter, Your Wagon, Cat, what does it say right there?
Baloo?
Cat Baloo.
Bayou.
Capaloo.
Dies of a heart. Yeah, he dies of a heart attack at the age of 63.
Ooh.
Hey. I don't know this guy, Lee Marvin. Well,
I don't know. He's a well-known actor in his day.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Lee Marvin, dude. Seriously?
Well, he died on my birth year, so I don't, you know.
That's true.
Yeah, he apparently did.
Yeah, I was only like half a year old, somewhere roughly.
It's okay. No, I like my dad likes to make me watch old movies when I come over and hang out with him.
Oh my god!
Oh shit, snacks! Can I take this one?
Yes,
go.
it is your turn.
Oh, so it's my turn? Okay, alright. Unfortunately, this is a sad day in history. In 2016 today, Mr. Gene Wilder passed away. He was known as Jerome Sieberman, an American actor, Blazing Saddles, Willy Wonka and the Charlie Chocolate Factory. I could also go Blue Streak. I could go Hear No Evil, See No Evil. And I could go beyond that. And
How about
he
Young
passed away
Frankenstein?
I was
today.
just about to say, Young Frankenstein.
The guy
Young
was so talented.
Frankenstein, yep.
Yeah.
Like Mel Brooks loved using him.
Yeah.
Like he was really decent to work with, very funny and humorous, but there's very quiet in his life.
I think they were really good
Like,
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and Pryor became really good friends because they started working with each other. Like Blue Streak was the one where they were like the jail breakout.
Oh yeah.
They break out with in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Stir Crazy, yeah, Stir
Yeah, there you
Crazy.
go.
Gene
Yeah,
Wilder.
yeah, Gene Wilder passed away today.
What a
back
talent.
in
Yeah.
2016.
What a loss. So.
Huge loss.
Yeah. Well, that concludes the show today. Once again, you can check the underbar, the description, for links that you may find interesting.
Wait. There is one more.
Okay.
Yeah, he was married to Gillerad, but no. In 2021, the last one. From Ron Bushy, from the rock drummer, from Iron Butterfly,
Oh.
Indigo DeVita. He passed away today, too.
From
in
esophageal
2021.
cancer at the age of 79, it looks like.
Yep.
That's,
Iron
Yeah,
Butterfly.
before you ended that, I
Love
saw
that
that and I had to interject. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Like, esophageal cancer is a really hard diagnosis to swallow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Boo. The
Okay.
question is, did we finish this show on the same day?
Yes, we
I'm
did.
not sure. Now that concludes the show. Once again, you can check the underbar, the description for any links that you may find interesting, including but not limited to everything Omni Coalition. For your dose of Passive Events Daily, we stream at 10 in the morning Pacific time.
And we
Oh,
also stream at 1 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yep. For all of you and all of
As
us,
we speak.
I am Aoxander.
I am Scott.
I am Who is Alice?
Meet Cleaver.
And you viewer, of course, are you. And until you catch us tomorrow, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Until then,
Let's go,
toodles.
Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. Yes. You beat me
Let's
to
go,
it.
Brandon!
Woo!